So let us see what is a quadrilateral. So we studied what is a triangle. A triangle is a polygon with three sides. Just like that. A quadrilateral is a polygon with the four sides. And there are four angles whose sum is 360 degree. Triangle having three sides and three angles. Sum of the angle is 180 degree, but in a quadrilateral there are four angles and four sides in which sum of the angle is 360 degree. Sum is 360 degree. Now there are a few types of quadrilaterals are there. One is parallelogram. One of the most important one is parallelogram. What is a parallelogram? It is a quadrilateral in which both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Means this is a quadrilateral in which opposite sides AB and CD are opposite sides. They are parallel. Similarly, AD and BC are opposite sides. They are also parallel. So AB parallel to CD and AD parallel to BC. That is a parallelogram. So in a parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Now, what is a rectangle? Rectangle is a parallelogram. Means rectangle satisfy all the properties of parallelogram in which one of the angle is 90 degree. One of the angle is 90 degree. If one of the angle is 90 degree, any one of this angle is 90 degree, then we can say that is a rectangle. Then what is a rhombus? Rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides are equal. All the four sides are equal in a parallelogram. Then it is called a rhombus. Then square. Square must be a rhombus in which one of the angle is 90 degree. Means all the sides are equal as well as one of the angle is 90 degree. And trapezium. Trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides are parallel. Any one. Either AB and CD are parallel or AD and BC are parallel. Both are not parallel. Now there are some properties of parallelogram. What are the properties of parallelogram? One already we studied. Both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. As I told you, AB parallel to CD and AD parallel to BC. Second property is both the pairs of opposite sides are equal. Means AB equal to CD as well as AD equal to BC. That is written here, AB equal to CD and AD equal to BC. Third, diagonals bisect each other. Here there are two diagonals AC and BD bisect each other means where they were meeting that distance from there to each of the vertices, that is OA and OC. OA equal to OC and OB equal to OD. OA equal to OC and OB equal to OD. O is the midpoint of both of the diagonals. Then both the pairs of opposite angles are equal in a parallelogram. Means angle A and angle C are opposite angles. They are equal. Similarly, angle B and angle D are opposite angles. They are also equal. Angle A equal to angle C and angle B equal to angle D. That is a property of parallelogram. Then finally, adjacent angles are supplementary. As we studied, the lines are parallel, transversal meeting co-interior angles. You see, adjacent angles. Angle A and angle B, if we are adding 180 degree. Similarly, B and C adding 180 degree, C and D if you are adding 180 degree, and A and D also adding 180 degree. That is written here. Angle A equal to angle A plus angle B equal to 180. It's also equal to angle B plus angle C plus angle D, angle D plus angle A. Adjacent angles are always supplementary. That are the properties of a parallelogram. Now, if we want to say any of a given quadrilateral is a parallelogram, if any of these conditions is satisfied, then all such cases that is a parallelogram. So if it is a quadrilateral, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then it is parallelogram. If in a quadrilateral, both the pairs of opposite sides are equal, then also it is a parallelogram. If any one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, if any one pair of means AB and CD are equal and AB parallel to CD, then also it is a parallelogram. One pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, that is written now, just I told you. Now fourth one, diagonal bisect each other. If in a quadrilateral diagonals bisect each other, then it is a parallelogram. And finally, if all pairs of adjacent angles are supplementary, then also it is a parallelogram. Means A and B are supplementary, B and C are supplementary, C and D are supplementary, and A and D are supplementary, then also it is a parallelogram. So let us see some other properties of a rectangle. All the properties of a parallelogram will satisfy by the rectangle, because every rectangle is a parallelogram, but every parallelograms are not rectangle. See, what are the other property? So already we studied one angle of a parallelogram is 90 degree, then it is called a rectangle. In a parallelogram, if any one of the angle is 90 degree, then it is a rectangle. Diagonals of a rectangles are equal. In a parallelogram, diagonals are not equal, but in a rectangle, diagonals are equal. You see, ABCD is a rectangle. Each angle ABCD, each of the angle is 90 degree. And length of AC and length of BD also will be equal. In a parallelogram, it is not possible, but in a rectangle, it is possible. Diagonals are equal, as well as if each angle of a quadrilateral is 90 degree, then it is a rectangle. Means if any of the quadrilateral, all four angles are given equal to 90 degree, then such quadrilaterals are always a rectangle. Or in a short, I can tell you, in any quadrilateral, if all the four angles are equal, then it is a rectangle also, then it is a parallelogram also. Now, what are the properties of rectangle? Once again I am telling, each angle is 90 degree. Convex also true, if each angle is 90 degree, then it is a rectangle. Diagonals length are equal. In a quadrilateral, length of the diagonals are equal, then it is a rectangle. Then diagonals equal, as well as I already told you, it's a parallelogram with one of the angle 90 degree. So one is the definition and other is the property. Then properties are rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram. All the properties of parallelogram will satisfy. Other than that, all the sides are equal. If any quadrilateral, all the sides are equal, then it is a rhombus. Diagonal bisect each other at 90 degree. In a parallelogram, diagonals are bisecting, we already studied. But in a rhombus, that bisecting angle will be 90 degree. Means angle AOB, angle BOC, angle COD, angle AOD, all these angles will be 90 degree, or I can say in a rhombus, diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Okay? So the length of AC is not equal to length of AC not equal to BD. This diagonal's length will not be equal. So that are the property. Diagonals bisect each other at 90 degree and the diagonals are not equal. Diagonals will not be equal. But in a square, let's see properties of square. Square is a rhombus, so means all the sides are equal. Each angle is 90 degree. Rhombus, each angle is not 90 degree. Diagonals are equal and bisect each other at 90 degree. In a square, diagonals are equal and bisect each other at 90 degree. Here also, in a rhombus also diagonals are perpendicular. In a square also diagonals are perpendicular. In a rhombus, diagonals length are not equal, but in a square, diagonals length are equal. So that's the main difference coming with the rhombus and the square. Then, one of the important thing, diagonal of a parallelogram. If we are making a parallelogram and if you are drawing one of the diagonal, two triangles are forming here. Both of these triangles are congruent, as well as both of the triangles areas are also equal. You see triangle ACD, triangle CAB, triangle ACD, triangle CAB are congruent, you can use by SAS or SSS. SAS you want this angle, alternate interior angle you can see. Then AC common, SSS if you want AD equal to BC, CD equal to AB as well as AC common, any one of the property you can use, so that both the triangles are congruent by SAS or SSS, and their areas are also equal. Congruent we know, one coincide with the other, that is the meaning of congruent, so their areas are also equal. If any two triangles are congruent, then areas are also equal. There are two questions given here. One is in this quadrilateral ABCD, it is not a parallelogram, it is quadrilateral ABCD. AP and DP are angle bisectors of angle A and angle D. Means angle A is bisected by AP and angle D is bisected by DP. Of a quadrilateral, this is a symbol for quadrilateral ABCD. Show that angle B plus angle C is equal to 2 times angle APD. That's a question. Very simply, if I am taking this as A, then this also will be A because angle bisector. Similarly, this as B, then this also will be. Each of these angles are equal angle bisector property. So A is same as this. A is same as half of angle A. And B is same as half of angle D. So in triangle ADP, A plus B plus angle APD is equal to 180 degree angle, some property of a triangle. I take the half of everywhere, half of a angle A. This is a half of angle A, and this is half of angle D. B is half of angle D plus angle APD is equal to 180 degree. Then I multiply everywhere by 2. 2 when I multiply it will come angle A, here it will come angle D, and here it will come 2 angle APD is equal to 360 degree everywhere multiplied by 2. So right hand side also multiplied, so I took it as equation number 1. Now in quadrilateral ABCD, if we are applying the angle sum property, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D equal to 360 degree. So here equation 1 and 2 RHS are all equal, therefore LHS are also equal. So angle A plus angle D plus angle 2 angle APD must be equal to angle A plus angle B plus angle plus C plus angle D. Here angle A cancel, here angle D, here angle D cancel. What is remaining is 2 angle APD is equal to angle B plus angle C. Now, if the same quadrilateral is given as a parallelogram, then how much changes will come? Let's see. Here it is given the next question. AP and DP are angle bisectors of angle A and angle D of a parallelogram ABCD. In the previous case, only quadrilateral ABCD given. Here this time it is given as parallelogram ABCD. Then find angle APD. This angle APD is how much? You can find out how much. Here you cannot say what is the answer. You can say only the relation, but here you can say what is that answer. Very simple. Just like the previous case, A, B, B. A is equal to half of angle A, B is equal to half of angle D. Just like that here. Here also angle bisectors are there. So angle A plus angle D is 180 degree because it's a parallelogram. Adjacent angles are supplementary. That is written co-interior angle, or I can say adjacent angles of a parallelogram. So everywhere I divided by 2 half of angle A because half of angle A is written here. Half of angle A, half of angle D equal to 180 half, that is 90. Everywhere I took the half. Everywhere if you are doing, there is no problem. So half of angle A is A, half of angle B is B, so A plus B equal to 90 degree. Now in triangle APD, in this triangle, if you are applying the angle sum property, A plus B plus angle APD is equal to 180 degree angle sum property of a triangle. Here A plus B is, here you see A plus B is 90, plus angle APD is equal to 180 degree. So 90 you brought to the right hand side, angle APD is 90 degree. So if it is a quadrilateral, if any two adjacent sides are, adjacent angles are bisecting, then the angle formed in between will be always 90 degree. That's the importance of that. So one more result is there, midpoint theorem. It's another important result of the chapter. What is a midpoint theorem is the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides, any two sides of a triangle. Any two sides of a triangle. Triangle, the word is not written there. Of a triangle. Of a triangle is parallel to third side and half of it. Sides of a triangle. If a triangle is parallel to the third side and is half of it. What's the meaning of that? Let's see. You see this triangle. M and N are the midpoints of AB and AC. Then, if we are joining M and N, that Mn will be parallel to BC and Mn will be equal to half of BC. Mn will be equal to half of BC. M and N are midpoints of that is given here. So the importance is M and N are the midpoints. So Mn is parallel to BC and Mn is equal to half of BC. Whatever the length of Mn is there, it's half will BC. Mn is the half of BC. BC length half is Mn. Now here a triangle is given. All the midpoints of the sides are joined. So we will get that there are four triangles. The importance of this triangles is all these four triangles are congruent and all of them having same area also. Two properties are satisfied. If you are joining the midpoints of all the sides of a triangle, there are four congruent triangles will form and each of them having same area also. So very simple. Here it is given P, Q and R. The P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of AC, R is the midpoint of BC. Now, first one I am telling P and Q are the midpoints, so PQ parallel to BC and PQ equal to half of BC. Half of BC means BR or CR because R is the midpoint, so half of BC is same as BR or CR. That is written here. PQ parallel to BC, which triangle? In triangle ABCC, PQ parallel to BC and PQ is equal to half of BC because of midpoint theorem. Half of BC is same as BR or CR. BR or CR. So, you may see that PQ and BC are parallel. So, PQ and BR are also parallel and CR are also parallel. Now, PQ and BR are parallel and PQ equal to BR. PQ equal to BR. So, opposite sides are parallel and equal. So, PQRB is a parallelogram. Similarly, PQCR is also a parallelogram. PQCR is also a parallelogram. Both having same property. Opposite sides are parallel and equal. Opposite sides are parallel and equal. Then it's a parallelogram. Similarly, you see PR is parallel to AC and PR is equal to half of AC. Half of AC same as AQ or CQ because Q is the midpoint. That is written here. PR is parallel to AC by midpoint theorem. PR is equal to half of AC. Half of AC same as EQ or CQ. So you may see that PR is parallel to AQ and PR is equal to half of PR equal to AQ. So we may see that this is a parallelogram as well as this one is also a parallelogram. Two parallelograms are forming at the same time. They are written here PQCR. Check it. PQCR. It is already written the above case also. And the second one is AQRP. AQRP is also a parallelogram. And third case also you see QR parallel to AB and QR is equal to half of AB. Half of AB is same as AP as well as BP. Half of AB same as AP as well as BP. So you may see that PQRB, PQRB, PQ and B. Already it is used there. And one more is there AQRP, AQRP. That also earlier we used that, so it's a parallelogram. So any of the cases you may see there are parallelograms are forming. Here there are three parallelograms in short I can tell you. APQ, APRQ, BPQR and as well as CQPR. There are three parallelograms and we already studied in a parallelogram diagonal divides a parallelogram into two congruent triangles. means 1 and 2 are congruent because APQR is a parallelogram, PQ is the diagonal. So 1 and 2 are congruent. Similarly, 2 and 3 are 2 and 3 and 2 and 4 are also congruent, and congruent triangles having equal area. That is why all the 4 triangles having equal area. That is one of the results you can use anywhere. So keep it in mind. Now one question is written here. Show that the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of any quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Here ABCD is a quadrilateral given in which the midpoints PQRS. P is the midpoint of AB. Similarly QRS are the midpoints of the sides. If we are joining these sides, you will get this PQRS is a parallelogram. That you have to prove it. Very simple. So any one of the diagonal joining, I joined AC, you may join BD also. If this diagonal is joined, then you can see in triangle ABC, P and Q are midpoints. So PQ parallel to AC and PQ is equal to half of AC. PQ parallel to AC and PQ equal to half of AC. That is the midpoint theorem used here. Similarly, in triangle ADC, SR parallel to AC and SR equal to half of AC. That is written here. Now you see half of AC here also, half of AC here also. So PQ must be equal to SR because half of AC right hand side are equal, left hand side are equal. As well as PQ parallel to AC, SR also parallel to AC means PQ and SR are both are parallel to AC. It means PQ and SR are also parallel. So that is written PQ parallel to SR and PQ equal to SR. Because of these two results, so we can say opposite sides are parallel and equal. Therefore, PQRS is a parallelogram. Finally, we will see what is converse of midpoint theorem. Midpoint theorem already we studied. If any two midpoints of two sides of a triangles are joining, then that will be parallel to third side and is equal to half of the third side. That we studied in midpoint theorem. It's converse. What is converse? I will tell you in this figure. In triangle ABC, M is the midpoint and MN parallel to BC. Then N is the midpoint. And only one midpoint is given and parallel is also given. So by converse saying, then now N also the midpoint of AC. That is given. The line drawn through the midpoint of one side of a triangle is parallel to another side. Through the midpoint of one side of a triangle is parallel to another side. We bisect the third side. Bisect the third side means AN equal to CN. So means if AM equal to BM is given, AM equal to BM means M is the midpoint of AB and MN parallel to BC, then AN is equal to CN. That is the converse of midpoint theorem. If one midpoint, through one midpoint, if you are drawing a line parallel to the third side, then the other side also will bisect each other, or the other side also will be the midpoint. You will get the midpoint of the other side. Now there are two problems given. In the first question, two or three problems. First question, it is a rhombus. We have to find out this x. This angle is given as 30. So since this is 30, angle 1 also 30 because rhombus each side are equal, AB and BC are equal. So triangle ABC is isosceles. So whatever 30 degree is here, that angle 1 also 30 degree. So angle 1 is 30 degree. In this triangle, angles of property will get angle 2 is equal to 120 degree. Angles of property applied. Okay. Now that itself, it's a parallelogram also. So opposite angles are equal. So angle 2 is 120. So x also 120. Second question is this. In this triangle, D and E are the midpoints. And this is given, AD is given 4.9 centimeter. This is 5. A is given 5.1. And this is given 8.2. You need to find out the perimeter of triangle AD. Very simple. D and E are midpoints. So D is equal to half of this. So this will come 4.1. So you find out the perimeter. Adding this one and this one, all the three sides you add, will get 14.1 centimeter. And the last question, in this is a rectangle is given. ABCD is a rectangle. Find PQ. So since it is a rectangle, here you can apply Pythagoras theorem. AC square equal to 4 square plus 3 square, that is 25. So AC is equal to 5 centimeter and by midpoint theorem, P and Q are the midpoints are given. That not written here. P and Q are the midpoint. So by midpoint theorem, PQ equal to half of AC. So that is 2.5 centimeter.